Okay, and welcome to our call tonight, guys. I'm so excited to see your faces on, and I know tonight was a hard night for a few of you guys to get on. I know I got many messages saying, hey, make sure you post the recording. I want to listen in the morning. Totally fine. That is never a problem. And I want to introduce tonight, we have a guest speaker, and I was telling Becky that it's a merge call tonight, and I love it. I love when we do these merge calls. It's my team, Team Knockout, and Sammy's team, Team Act 2. And Becky will be speaking. I see more and more people pop on every minute, so this is awesome. So Becky is a coach on Team Triceps. And Becky, is Sarah Chai your upline direct?
Yes. Yes, Sarah is my coach.
Okay, so if for you guys that don't know Sarah Try, you guys may have seen her in the recruiting dash. She is a rock star, someone that I love hanging out with when I go to live events. I just feel like I learn so much from her. She has just this like vibe about her that just like, I don't know, calms me down. So when I chat with her, I just love it. So I'm excited to have Becky on the call. And okay, mom. And she is rocking the business. She's the diamond coach, and I'm excited to have her share all about challenge groups. And I know Sammy and I talk about it until we're blue in the face sometimes about challenge groups and how they're so important, but it's great to hear a fresh perspective, right? Like, why are these groups so important? What happens when these people, hop off, when we have silent groups? So I know Sammy and I will be asking a ton of questions, and we invite you guys to ask questions too. But Becky, if you want to get started, Sammy, do you have anything to add? No? I'm excited. Okay.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
No, I'm just going to spotlight you real quick. Hold on. Okay, you're spotlighted.
Okay. Thank you all so much for having me on. I just wanted to say that like Sarah said, there's just a ton of information about challenge groups, so I'm not going to be able to cover everything tonight. So I tried to, bullet point some things that have worked for me. And keep in mind that those things change. So if you implement these and they work for a few months and then they quit working, just switch up again. So I have a lot, so I'm going to jump right in because I also try to keep my team calls kind of short and sweet. So tonight we're talking about the importance of challenge groups. And I kind of did like a who, why, what, when, where, and how. So who should be running challenge groups? Because I know I have a lot of coaches on my team that don't run challenge groups, and so I always try to talk to them about when it's a good time for them to run a challenge group. So this is what I came up with. The coaches that should be running challenge groups are any coaches that are wanting to help others, be accountable, and grow their business. Okay, so if you're wanting to help other people, be accountable yourself, and grow your business, then you should be running challenge groups. All right, why should we run challenge groups? Well, we need to have somewhere to provide implementation of the programs that we support. I remember last fall, I had decided I was going to take a break from the challenge groups for a couple months, and I announced it. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, wait a minute, does that mean that I'm just going to stop helping people and I'm not going to meet Success Club? So I didn't take a break because we need to have somewhere to provide implementation of the programs that we're supporting. We also need to have somewhere to connect with, to motivate and inspire and hold accountable our clients, customers, challengers, whatever you want to call them. We need to have somewhere that we can connect with them intimately, privately. And those groups are the place to do that. So much easier than trying to do it one-on-one with 300 people. All right, we want them to be successful. So these groups will provide a firm foundation that will last a lifetime. I really focus on my challenge groups providing a firm foundation for these people, that I start out like the first week with nutrition, then I implement the exercise the second week, and that's really a whole nother call on how you run the challenge groups. But the whole point is that you just really want them to be very valuable. All right, short commitment groups give us an opportunity to invite prospective clients in. to help them and form relationships, turning them into clients. So I run a few short commitment groups every month with the intent on getting to know them, forming that relationship, and turning them into my boot camp challengers the next month. All right, so what types of groups should we run? Well, you can be creative. You know, a lot of us run challenge groups like our coaches ran, but we really need to think outside the box. But we should always have a group for our current active clients. You know, we all have those clients that kind of fall off and they're not really interested in being in our group every month. And so I do have a group that I don't post in consistently. I don't post in it regularly, and that's where all of my clients that are not really active go, but that way I still stay connected with them, and that way they can let me know when they're ready to jump in one of my challenge groups. But we should always have a group for those current active clients. So I run new boot camps the first Monday of every month for those clients and coaches. I have a lot of coaches that, you know, want to stay. Even though they're coaches, they still want to be held accountable and be in my challenge groups. Okay, so in that boot camp that I do every month, it starts the first Monday of every month, I post a fact or a task or a motivation every morning. And this actually came from one of the calls that some of you may have seen that Carly did. So that really helped me out a lot. But in the morning, I post a fact, a task, or motivation. And then I was doing a recipe midday every day, but this month I'm not. I kind of relaxed a little bit, and I told them that I will randomly be throwing recipes out there, that they were welcome to share recipes as well. And then every evening is the accountability post. And I always let my challengers know that if they can't participate in the group on, you know, any other time, please do the accountability post, because that's where I will know if they're struggling. That's where I'll be able to find out if they need a little bit more help. Okay, and then I recommend a short group that requires Shakeology monthly, or I'm sorry, the short group that will require Shakeology. I recommend like a 5-day shakedown or a 10-day shakedown, just something that's going to require you to invite people consistently to a short Shakeology group. All right, because that's going to help your team unload Shakeology. I know a lot of spouses are signed up as coaches and they're not drinking it. So a lot of people have packets that they're trying to, pass along. So that's a good group to get those packets out. But it also gives you an opportunity to invite people to try Shakeology on a short-term commitment before they purchase the 30-day commitment. And that has worked really well for our team. They usually turn into challenge pack purchases. Okay, so I also recommend a completely free short group that will allow you to connect with people that need to know you better before investing. Okay, a lot of people they need to experience you a little bit before they're going to invest. You know, some people just make up their mind and they're ready to go and they purchase a challenge pack, but some people kind of want to know how you're going to run your challenge group and what to expect. And so just some sort of a free group, it can be anything. I do the 6-day shred. So, but it can be a 5-day clean eating. And I like to offer Shakeology to anybody that wants it in that group, but it's not required. And for the one that requires Shakeology, I do a 5-day shakedown, and that's like a clean eating 5-day shakedown. All right, special groups based on current sales or programs are always fun. Like when the 3-day refresh is on sale, it's a really good time to promote the 3-day refresh, buy one yourself, advertise that you're going to be having this challenge group for the 3-day refresh. My husband and I actually did that together in July. I started announcing it in June. I bought one for each of us, and we did it like a couples, like Nick and I want to invite you to join us on the 3-day refresh. And we did it right before Summit. Like we wanted to lean out a little bit before we went to Summit. So anytime something is on sale or we have a new program like Size, it's a really good time. Our team did that as well. We had an August Size group. So all of July, we were talking about this Size group. And that gave our coaches something to encourage people to commit to Size because they had this big August challenge group coming up. All right. As far as the meal plans for some of these groups, like the little free clean eating or those short challenge groups, don't forget to look at your meal plans that you have in your Beachbody programs, because those are the meal plans that most coaches use. I don't know if everybody knows that, but like for instance, P90 is where the 6-day shred came from. And so that's what I use for the 6-day shred. So you can pretty much find any meal plan in those programs to use for those groups. All right, again, be creative though. They don't have to be clean eating or exercising. I actually ran a 21-day Made to Crave free group one time, and it was based off of Lisa Turkhurst. I don't know if anybody's familiar with her. She has it's called Made to Crave. It's a book, and it's based on scripture. And so you can just kind of think outside the box. That takes a look at a scriptural approach to nutrition. And that's where I have a lot of people that have a very, I don't want to say religious background because we kind of frown on that word, but anyway, there are people of faith. So I had a lot of people in that challenge group, and it was just a free 21-day group. All of the material was provided through email, through Lisa Turkhurst, and I just plugged it into that challenge group every day. And that helped me form relationships with those people. I've also done, along with my team, I did a nutrition back to basics. And what we did was we assigned a few days to each coach on our team. And we had a calendar so that we knew what day was ours and what our topic was going to be. And that way we covered all bases. And I want to say that was a 30-day group that we did. Completely free, no obligation. I think we had over 100 people in that. So that turned into challenge packs because you're forming relationships. People want to go a little bit deeper. All right. So when should I run challenge groups? I'm very strategic about when I run my challenge groups. My current and active clients, like my boot camp, they need something that starts fresh every month. So they need something that starts like the first Monday of the month. And I do like to give them a little bit of a break. I also like to give myself a little bit of a break. So it's sometimes it's a week between ending a challenge group and then starting that first Monday. And sometimes it's just 3 or 4 days. So it really just depends on when the first Monday falls, but that's just what I do. So my clients know every first Monday of the month is when we're going to start. I always put my brand new clients into the boot camp. And in fact, I've actually started putting them in the first 2 months. So the first 2 months, they're automatically in there. And, okay, Sarah asked if the groups are 30 days. I've done it different. I've done 21-day groups, and I've done 30-day groups. It just kind of depends. I always do schedule them out, so I can't really go by like the feeling of the group and shorten it because I've already put the dates out there. But I'll kind of go by like the next month. Like for instance, October's kind of a short group because my September group was kind of dying down towards the end. So I've done both. You just kind of have to go with what works for you. 21 days is a really good amount. Sometimes anything longer than that, it can just kind of die down and get quiet. It all depends on how active your group is. But I do like to take at least a 3 or 4 day break in between. So, you just kind of have to look at the calendar and figure all that out ahead of time. And I always do. I have my planner, like I already have through the end of the year planned out. I like to have a few short commitment groups early enough in the month that it gives me time to work with those people to turn them into challengers for my boot camp for the next month. I'm sorry, I feel like my voice is cracking. So for instance, I like to have my 5-day shakedown like the second week of the month. So the first week I'll start my boot camp, and then the next Monday I'll start my 5-day shakedown. And then I usually have a week there, like a week break, but this month I don't. This month I had the first Monday was my boot camp. The second Monday, which is this week, is my 5-day shakedown. And then the next Monday is my 6-day shred. So you really need to look at the calendar and just make sure that you're providing yourself enough time to work with those short commitment groups. People usually need to be talked to a little bit before they go into purchasing their challenge pack for the following month's boot camp. Groups at the end of the month are okay. I've just found that those are probably going to be prospects for next month, not for this month. So it just depends. I really use these groups to get my success. I mean, first and foremost, I'm helping people. That's my passion. But I also, that's how I get my Success Club points. So just keep that in mind, that, the later in the month you schedule your groups, those are probably going to be next month's Success Club points. And I always do fun little things like if my challengers share anything positive about their experience in the group. In fact, I just posted a video on my like page. I always tell them, okay, if you say anything positive about our challenge group or your program or anything that you're going through with your nutrition and fitness on your personal timeline and you tag me in it, then I'll put your name in a drawing. And so once a month, like after that month is over, I'll do a drawing and I'll put their name in there however many times they did that. People just love winning stuff. And I also do that like at the end of the short commitment groups. If they fill out a survey, I always like to send a survey so I can find out what I need to tweak in the group to make it better. What's working and what's not working. And so if they fill out the survey, another drawing, another gift. I mean, it can just be a packet of Shakeology or a packet of E&E, a t-shirt, whatever. People love to win stuff. Okay, the next one is where. Where do I find people for my groups? Your warm market. I know y'all have heard of your warm market and your cold market. You should be inviting your friends and family. I recommend inviting at least 2 people every day. And never write people off, because I've had a lot of very firm no's coming back to me recently. One of my best challengers right now was somebody I continually invited to like my like page, and she kept declining. And those of you with like pages know what I'm talking about, because if she just ignored it, I wouldn't be able to reinvite her. She was actually declining it because I was able to reinvite her. And she is one of my best challengers now and having great results. So never write people off and burn those bridges. You just never know when they're going to come back and want your help. It just may not be a good time for them when you first ask them. But you should always be working off of a list, and like your list, whether it's handwritten or on Google Docs or Excel or whatever, just write down the date that you talked to them last and go back and ask them again. And if it's somebody that, you know, is a maybe, then invite them each month to your groups. Okay, your cold market, always be looking to add people to your list, to the list, you know, your friends list, the list that you're keeping, where you're inviting people. Look for people in person, online, you know, that's a whole nother call also, but you're just always wanting to add people. Also, ask your current challengers to help you. Give incentives for them bringing in friends and family. I have an incentive. I give a gift anytime somebody refers somebody to me and they buy a challenge pack. So for challenge pack referrals, they always get a gift from me. And they're always very generous about posting that. They'll say, you know, look what I got from my coach. And that just gives you good publicity too. Okay, so how do I start? All right. Okay, I have a question. When you invite, are you giving them info on all of your groups so they can choose? Yes, that's a great question. I actually announce all of my groups every month, and I actually have that down here. I like to put my groups, I make a cute little picture. I've kind of wondered if I'm wasting my time because I don't get a lot of engagement on that post. But I do get people messaging me, asking me about specific groups, and that's why I do continue to make that picture. Like this month, for instance, it has orange and black, and it has a little ghost on it. It has some pumpkins, and you know, it has all of my groups. It has my boot camp. You know, it tells you what the group is, like a little breakdown and the dates, and the boot camp, the 5-day shakedown, the 6-day shred, and then I have a sneak peek into coaching coming up. And so I do announce those. I think I answered that, didn't I? Okay, yeah, because some people know, they'll just know that they want into the 5-day shakedown or they want into the 6-day shred, and then some people need some help deciding. And so I always ask them questions like, you know, what is your favorite, or what's your favorite exercise? What do you enjoy doing? What do you not enjoy doing? How's your nutrition? Those kind of things will help guide you into knowing which challenge group they should go into. Also asking them what they're willing to invest. Okay, the last one is how do I start? So look at the next month. Look at next month, y'all. This is your assignment. And pencil in your dates. I also have the dates on my cover picture. On my like page, people can always click on that and see what my current groups are. And have a big click here, you know, on the cover picture. So then you have to ask yourself, do you want to run these groups alone, with somebody, or as a team? I've done it all different ways. However, I do recommend that you have at least one short commitment challenge group that you're running alone. I just think that it gives you practice and it gives you confidence, and it will help you. You will find that you will build closer relationships with the challengers in that group because you are the coach. you are on. You have to be engaged. You cannot rely on so-and-so posting. So it kind of holds you to the fire. So I do recommend that you have at least one challenge group. So mine is the 6-day shred. I invite all of my coaches to participate as challengers in the 6-day shred, but they do not put their prospects in my 6-day shred, because that's my group where I kind of want to be held to the fire and be responsible for communicating with everyone. All right, so start inviting 2 weeks out. So you've got November's calendar. You want to take into account the holidays. You really don't want to have a challenge group going on over Thanksgiving, so make sure they end before Thanksgiving. But then the week after, like the Monday after Thanksgiving, is perfect for a short commitment group. And start inviting people 2 weeks before, okay? Run ads. If you have like pages, running ads is a perfect way to get new people in your cold market. I have had a lot of people come into my challenge groups from the ads that I run. I have a 6-day shred ad out there right now. And just remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You will have groups that you kind of bombed. So what? Not a big deal. Just provide value. That's what people are looking for. So don't wait until you've got it all perfect. I have, modified and morphed my groups, and they're constantly changing because, like I said at the beginning, things that worked last month may not work this month or next month. So I think that's everything that I had. Does anybody have any more questions?
I know I have a few questions, and I know Sammy had one too. First is, I really love how you just closed it and saying, it doesn't have to be perfect. I've been a coach for a little over 2 years now, and some of my groups suck, and some of them are like great. And it's really not on you. You're doing all you can. So if you show up and you are coaching that group, you've done your job. Okay, so don't keep that pressure on you. If maybe you did one group, I've had coaches who do a few groups and maybe they have one that bomb and then they stop. Mm-hmm. And that's the worst thing you can do, I think. I know, Sammy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like not caring about it being perfect because, like, I will tell you, my first challenge group when I signed up as a coach was a hot mess. Like, I let people in that didn't buy challenge packs. Someone, like, had a program from 3 years ago. No one was posting. So they get better, and you get better as you learn more. It's definitely a skill. It's not something that I think is, like, innate. We aren't born to run challenge groups, so don't stress.
And real quick, Becky, are you currently running them with your team, or do you do them separate, the 30-day groups or 21-day?
Okay, so I was running groups with my team, and we were taking turns. Yeah. And I decided that if you're an Emerald coach on my team, you should be running your own groups.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I
know Sammy and I think we do you do yours with your team too, Sammy?
Yeah, I do.
I do too. Okay.
Now, I have some coaches that are not Emerald yet, or I have one that just turned Emerald, and she's still trying to, get her feet under her. But I just found, because, see, Sarah didn't run groups with me. And what it occurred to me was that I took off because I had to run groups.
Yeah.
And when you have 5 people in your group, you're pushed a little bit harder to fill that group.
Yeah. I really like how you said, have your coaches do separate 5-day groups. That's something that I've been struggling with. I do my own 5-day group. I do a free PCOS group every month, and I also run one for them. So, and I know Sammy runs them for her coaches too. So it's really great to hear, why not be responsible for 5 days? It's 5 days. You guys can do it. What's the difference between 5 days in a row versus 5 days in a month that are spread out, right? That you help lead. Right. I really like that. And I think that's the best way to really get your feet wet in this.
Yeah, I threw it out one time and I said, look, whoever commits to run, I think it was in July, whoever commits to run a free group this month goes into a drawing for a prize. I mean, I love to give stuff away.
I do too. I love gifts, giving them away. Sammy, I know you had something about the packets, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I just wanted to say for anyone that doesn't know, in addition, if you don't have extra packets lying around of Shakeology, there is a sampler pack online that they can buy. I think it's like $20, and they can get 5 days of Shakeology with different flavors, and that can be a clean eating group in and of itself. I also liked you saying the couples 3-day refresh because I actually made which I want to do, but I actually made a challenge post and I tagged my boyfriend, which I've never done before. And my discount coach that signed up yesterday was from his page. So that's another option if they're not a coach.
Yeah, definitely. And I've had people order that sampler because sometimes if they don't know you, like if they've come to you through an ad, they're a little bit more comfortable buying from a company than they are sending money to PayPal to me to mail to them.
Yeah.
Now, if they're buying from me, if they're buying packets, or even some of my coaches, if they don't have enough packets, they'll contact me and I'll mail them out for them. I have a PayPal. I charge $5 a packet plus $5.75 for priority mail. So $30.75 for 5 packets. Or they can buy the sampler.
Yep, I do the exact same thing as you, Becky, and my coaches too. I ship for them too if they need it. So we're about to lose you, but thank you so much. I know I took a ton of notes and I'm excited. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all calling in.